So this is just a little video kind of going on from my Mother's Day post that I did for Lucy. It could be quite a long video, so if you're really not interested in kind of knowing who she is or our journey and our story, then keep scrolling or don't watch. It's absolutely fine. A lot of you might not even want to anyway. But I just feel like today, for me personally, because I've done a few videos before and a few posts before that have been quite personal, because I'm not fake on social media, I'm not fake in real life. But Mother's Day can be a hard day for me, not so much as an adult, because I know my identity, I know who I am, I know where I've come from, through the ups and downs, so now I'm happy with it, I'm fine with it, and Lucy just means so much to me. A lot of you might already know, I was raised in care, under a full care order, which means that my birth mother wouldn't or didn't have any parental rights over me at all. It was the judge, if you like, that was my parent that would make all the rules. I'm now 30 and I got put into care at the age of 3. I'm not going to bore people with that. I don't dwell on it. I don't talk about it because I don't want people to look at me differently or to go, But one thing I will say is that when you hear that people are in care or they haven't been brought up in a loving family, and you were brought up in a setting that isn't normal, and then you're going to be a number. You're just a statistic. You're going to end up the duff at 16. You'll end up on drugs. You'll be selling your body. You're going to end up being nothing. And that hurts me when I hear people talk like that, and when I hear statistics and on the news and things like that. And I just think, well, I haven't. Now, without blowing my own trumpet, through my ups and downs, and I have. And again, this is all going to relate back to Lucy. Through all my ups and downs, right, it hasn't been easy. I haven't ended up like that. I haven't ended up the duff at 16. I haven't ended up a prostitute. I haven't ended up having to sell drugs. I've always worked since I was about 13. I've always worked. Everything I have is mine, other than my car. My car is on finance. And things like that. So yeah, so without blowing my own trumpet and going into too much detail, I've turned out all right. I got put into care at 3. Through to my birth mother's partner at the time and her. Cut a long story short, there was a physical abuse from the ages of about 1 till 3. The final straw was when he kicked me in the leg, and then it broke, and then that was when social services got involved. So I will say that over the years, social services and the laws and everything have changed so much since like 1993. So that's really good. That's really positive. But yeah, so I don't really talk about it because I'm not one to be like, I am who I am because my mum didn't want me, or, you know, I'm a horrible person because that's just the way I was raised, because I wasn't raised like that at all. I was not raised to be a nasty person. But yeah, so going on to Lucy. Sorry, I've got a bit sidetracked. Lucy, she isn't anything. She's not a social worker. She never was. She's not a foster parent. She's not anything to do with the social services or anything like that. She was literally a woman that was coming to the retirement age, and she volunteered at the Nspcc. And that was it. As an independent visitor. Now, a lot of you probably don't even know what that is because you don't hear them anymore. That through to funding and cuts and things, you don't hear of them. But when I was 9 years old, I was in a boarding school. Worst 2.5 years of my life. Worst. I would rather, I don't know, take my eyes out with spoons than go back there or even explain how horrific that was. I was there from the age of about 8.5, 9, and I left just before I had to go to high school. It was really hard. Emotionally, physically, academically. I'm not bright. As you've probably seen the other day, I put my certificate on there for my level 2 with care. Yay, I passed. But yeah, academically, I'm not bright. I don't know all my times tables. I'm dyslexic. You know, that's fine. It's who I am. I deal with it, and it's not a problem. But yeah, so then she volunteered at the Nspcc, and then we matched. And she came to me the one day, and she just drove up in this little red car, little Peugeot. What Peugeot was it? Oh, I don't know, but a really little one. And this older woman got out, and she introduced herself, and I was just like, who is this crazy lady? You know, another social worker, somebody else to come and read all my file and judge me on, you know, oh, she's a damaged child, you know, she's this, she's that, because that does go through your brain. And then she was just like, hi, I'm Lucy, and I'm here to just take you out for the day. I was like, what? Just your attention, just on me, nobody else. There was no, I wasn't in a room where it had to be filed and people had to listen in. It was just me and her. She said, we're just gonna go for a drive. I'm just here for you. That's who I am. That's why I'm here. I am literally here for you. And we met once a month, every 4 weeks. And in the meantime, she would send me postcards, little photos and things that she had done over the 4 weeks before we would meet again. And it took me a while to kind of get to adjust to it. I think it was more not adjusting to her. It was adjusting to the fact that there was somebody out there that wanted to spend their day, one whole Saturday every 4 weeks with me and nobody else. Right? Now that is huge. That is such a huge thing. I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional when I did this. I'm not doing this for pity. I'm just doing it because it's Mother's Day. And I just feel like I need to just show how amazing this woman is to me in my life. Right. And then the years went by, and then I left this boarding school. And this boarding school was in Oxford. So a long way away from where I grew up and where my foster placement was at the time, which was Wales. And she lives local to Oxford. And then when I left there, the decision, I remember going to a few meetings and my social worker and the decisions being made, you know, well, Lucy's going to have to, if you want to still see her, she's going to have to travel now from where she lives to Wales. It's about a 2-hour drive. And you know what? She did that every Saturday, once a month on a Saturday. Right, from the age of 9. She travelled Saturday from her home, right, to Wales to come see me. And all we did, we had the same picnic. She bought the same picnic because she knows I'm a stickler for routine. I can't have anything change. Same picnic. We would go to different spots and she would just talk and listen and make me laugh and make me feel so safe and so like one in a million. Like I was hers and she was mine. So if you like a mother and daughter bond. And that is why she is my mum. Not biological. She's got no blood. We don't share blood, nothing like that. But she is just amazing. And then I hit 18 and then it was, well, the funding's going to stop. Lucy didn't get paid for coming to see me. So she was a volunteer. She was an independent visitor, but it was volunteer work. But she used to get a little bit of money towards her petrol. Then when we turned 18, that little bit of petrol money she got then stopped. And Lucy was like, well, I'm still going to come see you. I don't come because I got a little bit of petrol money. What was it, like 30p a mile or something? She was like, no. She's like, I'll still come. And obviously then I learnt to drive at 17, past about 18, I think. So then it was my turn after all them years to go all the way to her. So yeah, it was either a Saturday night out or put the petrol in to go and see Lucy. So obviously I made that decision and I went down to go see her. So yeah, so that was 18, and then all through college and work and relationships and up and down, up and down, up and down. She's just been there for me, honestly. I ring that woman, right, about anything, absolutely anything, and she's just there. She's just there. She answers the phone, and she just stops everything now. She just stops everything she does. She picks up that phone, she answers it, she messages me, she sends me letters, anything, and she is just there for me. And I just don't think that anyone can understand how much for a kid that was raised in care, that went through emotions of not being wanted, and, you know, why did my birth mother go on to have 3 more kids that grew up with her, but she didn't want me. So you do go through that, and again, I'm not going to dwell on it. It is what it is. She's a scut. I can't even bring myself to even tell you her name because she's just horrible. But yeah, Lucy. And obviously she's been through like relationships with me. And as people know, I've always dated men. Boys, men, always. And then I found Jess, and I don't think... Lucy knows it was hard for me to not come out, but to come to her and tell her that I had fallen in love with a woman. And I lost a lot of sleep over it because it was hard. Sorry, my phone cut off then. Yeah, sorry. So going back to Jess. So yeah, it wasn't coming out to tell her. It wasn't hard, but her opinion means so much to me over everything. So for me to go to her to tell her that I've already put her through a lot of relationship problems because, as I said, she's always been there to listen to me. So to ring her up and say that I've split with so-and-so, or they've cheated on me, or I've been rock bottom, or they've took my money off me, and all the ups and downs. And then to say, do you know what, actually, Lucy, I'm really happy, and the person that makes me this happy is a woman. And I can remember having conversations with Jess and talking to my friends and being like, what if, now this would never have happened, but again, you know, you overthink things and it's all in your head. I thought, what if Lucy turns around to me and says, but I don't like her? And what would I do then? Because I would be like, well, I'm in the middle with this woman that I respect and adore and love with every being in my body, and she wouldn't approve of Jess. And I was just so worked up, and so I couldn't tell her. So I got a bit drunk and I just texted her. I've still got the message on my phone now, and goodness knows what she would have been like when she read it. I don't know. But I texted her, then I felt bad then. So the next day then I rang her and I explained it more to her. And she was like, well, I can't wait to meet her. I cannot wait to meet this person that makes you feel as happy as you are. She was like, I need to meet her. Oh, well, that was it then. I said to Jess, right, we need to organise a weekend. We need to go down. So we went down. The minute we walked in through her front door, she hugged Jess. And she welcomed her into her home and into her life. And I'll never forget that moment, ever. Never in a million years will I ever forget how she accepted me and Jess. I knew she wouldn't have turned her nose up, because she's not like that. She's amazing. But that was just huge. It was a big fear of mine. So we did that, and then obviously we got engaged. So she was the first person I phoned. Obviously, she was the first person I rang to tell her. And what I didn't know is that her and Jess had already been talking about it. And Jess asked Lucy for her blessing before she asked me, which was just, it was just wonderful. It was so nice. It was just amazing. So now I've got the woman of my dreams, the woman that I love and I could never be without. My mum, who's just an absolute wonderful person. Loving each other. And now I just feel like I've just got everything that, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing when your partner and your mum get on in it. It's a good feeling. Because Lucy's met a few of my partners. And a few times she's dragged me in the kitchen and she's been a bit like, I love you, Holly. And I'll stick by you, but I can just tell by her faces over the years. Oh, it's funny. But yeah, so Lucy is amazing. And I hope that this just gets across just how wonderful she is. Like, there's not a bad bone in her body. Not one bad bone in her body at all. She would do anything for me. Anything. And I know that. And I would do anything for her. So it just shows that you don't need to have, you know, biological family and things. I don't have anything to do with my birth family at all. Lucy is my family, and that's it. I don't know my dad. I don't speak to my mother. I've not spoken to my birth mother, God, in years. I don't know anything about her. I've got siblings. I don't bother with them. I've got an auntie. We don't speak. So Lucy is my world. Like, she is my mum. And I just love her. I love her to death. And I would be so lost without her. So yeah, so I'm sorry if this has gone on a little bit and there's a bit of a muddle in the middle. But just keep watching. If you want to watch, it's probably about 15 minutes long. But yes, it's just an insight to how Lucy is just so amazing and just how much I love her. I do. I love her more than anything in the world. Anything in the world. I would do anything for her. So yes, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, whether you're a mum, whether you're not a mum, whether you're a mum to your fur babies like I am, with all my crazy animals running around. Whether there's somebody in your life that you see as a mum or you see as just a great woman figure in your life, just tell them that you love them and that you'd be lost without them. But right, guys, I'm sorry if that was a bit, I don't know, random. I didn't get too upset about it, which I thought I would. But I am shaking a little bit, though. This is quite a nerve-wracking video to do. So, enjoy, guys.